Welcome to this tutorial of how to use Visual Studio Code, a code editor, to create, and edit wiki entries for the methods wiki. So let's start by introducing Visual Studio Code, which, as I mentioned, is a code editor. It's totally free. You can type here in Google Visual Studio Code. Just go here, and so you can download. If you have a macOS device, you can download here, but also you can go to download, and you have different options here for Windows, for Linux, and for macOS. I recommend also to first, if you have an Apple Silicon device, M1, M2, M3 MacBook, use Apple Silicon. If you have like an older MacBook, use Intel chip. Do not use Universal because it will weight a lot. And yeah, Windows, normally what you use is x64. But yeah, that's very straightforward. So you have to download and follow the instructions from the installer and allow all permissions. Okay, so it's totally free, so no worries, it's totally safe and secure. Okay, once that you have downloaded, you can open Visual Studio Code. I mean, you can generate an icon on your desktop. You can put it on your dock here, for example. You can open it in many ways as an application you can find easily on your computer. So this is the interface of Visual Studio Code. I'm using dark mode. Of course, you can change it to light mode. And so this is a very code editor interface. So this is the starting page. So what we have to do to start working with our wiki entries is to download an extension. This Visual Studio Code works with extension. If you want to use R, if you want to use Python, if you want to use another language, programming language, you have to download a specific extension. And Wiki or Media Wikitext is some kind of a programming language. It's like a bit like a mixture. So you have to download an extension for that. So here you can see on your left side of your screen, you have here extensions. You click here extensions and you search for Wiki or Wikitext specifically. So this one. So you may have some options, but I recommend this one, Wikitext. This one, Wikitext version 3.8.2. Probably if you're watching this in the future, it will be in a more advanced version. So it's very important that you have like as an overall tip or advice when you're installing extensions on this code editor is that you check that this extension is constantly updated. So for example, the last version of the last update of this extension was on August this year. So this gives you like a sense of that is a good quality extension, or or at least that it is stable. So yeah, so you click here install. Yeah, that's it. It is installed. So here you go here to the Explorer. This could be a bit confusing. So it asks you to open folder. Don't ignore this clone repository. So you can open folder, your folder where you are storing or where you want to store your wiki articles. In my case, I have this folder for wiki, and I have here the Python landscape, and I have here all my entries for example basics. Okay, For example, let's say I want to open this one as it is. Okay, so you see all your, you can see also here on your left side your directory, and in here you can even create a new file. For example, here you can create a new file, you can create a new folder. So let's say that let's create a new file. So when creating a new file, we have to put a name, like for example statistics, and then very important to put the name of the extension .wiki. Otherwise it won't work. Okay, so I have your file where you can start writing your wiki entry. So you can start like writing your how to say that, your entry. You, for example, statistics tutorial, and you can see that automatically it changes the colors here. For example, you know, this is for the headers, the equal sign, and you can, for example, put a list also here, item 1, item 2. You can here put numbers, for example, you can put here tomato, apple, etc. So this is like a just basic syntax of Wiki, and you can preview it here in this icon that I'm highlighting. And you can put here get preview, but oh, there's a problem. This is that no host is defined. So to visualize the preview of your Wiki articles, you have to make some configuration before, because the preview that you're going to see is based already on the Wiki tutorial, the specific Wiki page, and the specific format of it. And so to do that, it's very important. It's a key, a crucial step, is to here in code. I don't know how it's in Windows machines. You can find here code, and you find here settings. You click settings here, and you put here settings again. And in search settings, you write Wiki. Here in extensions, you find here Wikitext. So this is a very where the important stuff comes. I will put the information in the description below. So for example, this is asking you to put the name of the host or the sustainability methods wiki. So in this case, we put sustainability methods org. Okay, .org. Yeah. And previous style, you cannot modify it or just leave it as it is. The username is also, if you want to connect your name, your user to your to the wiki. I mean your profile that you have already on your wiki. In this case, my name is Gustavo. The API path. Here you have to put this. Just copy it as it is. Just trust it. api.php. The article path index.php. Again here. Auto login is a preference. Ask me. I mean, obviously, if you're on computer, you can put always or ask me if you want. I put here ask me. This is very important. Enable JavaScript. Enable get CSS just for the format, so you can visualize what you're putting on the preview. Your password, for example, I don't think this is necessary, but I will put it here. I mean, this is, I will change it anyway after this tutorial because I'm revealing my password here. Put your password here. Okay. Wiki redirects is when the input page is a redirect page. Okay. you put it here, you skip this. What else? And I think that should be everything for now. Okay, and now you can close it. Now let's try again. And yeah, you should be able to see the preview of your Wiki entry. Let's say, for example, that you want to edit some entries. Let's say in my case, I want to, I mean, this is very important here. You're not modifying everything on the wiki itself. You're not modifying the web page. You're not modifying the how to say that, the whole methods wiki. You're here only visualizing the preview of the specific file you're working on. Okay, for most advanced users, but I don't recommend this either, is to that you, for example, the option of you write your entries here, and with some commands here you can push it directly to the wiki and post it directly to do it automatically. But here we'll do it with only copy and paste. So for example, let's say that I want to edit a new an entry that I already have. Let's say, for example, Python landscape. Sorry for that. Let's say that, for example, I'm working with Python, for example, Python landscape. Okay, so this is the page of the Python landscape. Let's say I want to do this, or I want to modify a big proportion of it. So for example, I put here an edit, or put here, yes, edit, and I can basically select everything, maybe not everything inside here, copy and paste here. Let's say that, for example, I want to create like a backup file, or this file to modify it. So I create a new file which is called Python landscape.wiki. Okay, very important. And I copy and paste this. Sorry, I just paste this. Can close this. So this is the whole thing that I had here on the Python landscape, on the web version. I just copy and pasted the content on Visual Studio Code here. And you can see a difference. You can already see how easily it is to identify the structure of the wiki. Here, for example, you only see the same syntax, the syntax, but without color highlighting. Sometimes this is a bit uncomfortable, because if you are making mistakes, you don't know where they are. Or here, for example, it's very easily to see, for example, the color of the headers. You always can see here the name of the, for example, when you are redirecting pages, this is the page, for example, in blue. This is the name you are putting to the redirect. So you are seeing all these things here. For example, I don't know why this is. And for example, here, very specific case. For example, when we're putting an edit, when you're creating a header, it won't highlight until it's correct. For example, here I'm putting here, but you can see that this is wrong here because I want to put another equal sign. Yeah, that's it. And for example, you can see the preview here, and yeah, that's it. This is a preview of what I had. Like, for example, if I go back to I cancel changes here, you can see the web version of this entry, and on Visual Studio Code is practically the same. Probably we can extend this. Obviously this is the experience is way better if you are using another screen, another monitor, because you can see the live changes on the full screen. This is a bit like very small screen, so I'm using only one, so that's why it cannot be seen like very good. But this is basically the same. Okay, this is what you're seeing on the web of the wiki is also here in this preview. So for example, if I want to, let's say, to delete this part here, I just go here, delete it, for example, and then click again in preview. I'm not saving changes. This is very important. I'm not saving changes. I'm just getting the preview. Okay, and you can see how it changed. You can all add more things about, I don't know. I mean, many of the, for example, another image here. For example, if I want to duplicate this, I'll put another one just for showing purposes. Let's say I want to duplicate this image here, and put preview, and you can see I have double images. Okay. By the way, this is a clickable picture. Okay. I will show you at the end how to create a clickable picture. Yeah, so that's basically it. The good thing about this is that you can also use another, let me delete this one here. That you can use HTML commands. Okay, so for example, if you are editing things on the wiki, this is what you have here. In the advanced options, you have your bullet points, you have your list, you have like this kind of change the font and create these other characters. For example, for inserting a table, you need to put this here, put insert. And for example, you can also copy and paste this and put it right away in on your version Visual Studio Code. So for example, if I run this, you see that I have already here the table, so you can start editing here more. I don't know. I mean, the experience is way better in my opinion. For example, you change the headers. Let's say, for example, March, September, and then November, then example. I'm just putting random stuff here. Example, Halloween, and then just run preview. You see how it changes. Okay, so this is very useful to see how the structure of the wiki is changing, because otherwise, if you're editing wiki entries or changing or writing them from scratch, if you're saving changes, so you show preview here, for example, this is very experience is annoying. For example, you have here the preview, but you have to scroll down to see to modify again. So for example, there's another things that you can use HTML elements here. What is that? Sorry. HTML elements is here. See, for example, put in formatting. HTML is a front-end programming language, just to give format to web pages, write text and format to the web pages. For example, oh no, let's see that you want to introduce a thematic break. You are using this, for example, HR element. Something is useful. For example, I showed you preview how it is, and I see, for example, I want to do a thematic break after this table. I introduce this. Very important here also. hidden characters are already shown here. For example, I'm introducing this here. Okay, and yeah, so these these characters that are here highlighted in red sometimes are hidden, and if you are copying and pasting this, for example, let me do it again. For example, if I do this and I copy and paste it on the wiki, you cannot see it here on the wiki, okay? And this is like probably I will get an error. And I didn't get an error, but sometimes you can get an error if you don't delete these characters, okay? So for example, in this case, I have this character that should be here, so I delete it. And for example, how a thematic break looks like, you should you put preview here, and you see, for example, this line that is breaking these sections here. Is you can experiment with this. Many of these work, others don't, because there are some permissions that have to be activated on the backend. For example, if you want to put some code, for example, where is code? Yeah, for example, this one, code. This is for those who are working with R and Python and other programming languages, for example. If I have, for example, code, put my variable, as you have already seen on the how it works, is like when putting this kind of sections, you have to put first, in this case, for example, image, and then put here the to close the section of where you're putting here the element of you're putting here. This is the same for example, for this one, code, and you can put here my variable, you know how is nicely highlighted. But for example, if you're writing this one from without copy and pasting, it automatically gives you the closure element. I don't know how it is called. For example, if I'm writing code, it automatically gives me the other part. So for example, my second variable. Okay, so preview again, my second variable here. Okay, what else? For example, if you are putting mark to highlight in oh no, highlighting a text. This is my text. In this, for example, this part, it doesn't work. For example, I do preview. Yeah, it works. Mark. So this is my text. For example, I want to put it in bold. And again, preview. It looks like this is my text. So yeah, there are many elements here, or you can play around. Most of them work on the on the wiki, because one thing is HTML as a programming language, and Wikitext is another kind of semi-language, so to speak, that are already related. So in other words, like Wikitext is built on HTML, but is less complex for users to write wiki entries very easily. This, for example, another thing that I want to show you. For example, if you want to put like alert codes or alert blocks, sorry, are very useful, because they can give you this kind of block text with highlights, or like, colored block text, for example, these ones here. Let's say that danger, this is danger alert, check it out, for example. How do I put this? I just copy and paste this one, the one that it says danger here. I copy and paste it. Then I put this alert or this color block text, and I see how it appears here, for example. I can copy all of them here to see what happens. You can put everything here. This is a test. You can put here, for example, check this info. Healthy. So for example, let's see how it looks like. And yeah, you can see the different formats. So you can put like amounts of text here, for example. If you want to put this here in this kind of blocks, let's say. This is sometimes useful to when you want to highlight something very important, and obviously it depends on the specific structure and format of the landscape. But yeah, this is very useful. So yeah, this is it. And for example, if you want to put this into the wiki page, what you can do is, for example, or select everything, copy, and for example, in this case, basically substitute everything. I don't want to do this here, for example. I will create another entry, which is called sandbox. Let's see, playground. So I'm going to create this entry only for purposes, sharing purposes. Okay, I save page, and that's it. Playground page. Everything here is already posted on the wiki entry. Obviously, I don't want this. I'm going to delete it. Just delete page. So yeah, that's it. And finally, how to create these clickable pictures. Where are they? These ones here. Image map. You click on image map, free online image map generator. And this is also very safe. No images are stored here. For example, select image from my PC. Let's say I want to wiki, or are the images, for example, this one here. I'm loading this, and what you have to do here is, for example, to select the area where you want to select the area that is going to be clickable. For example, in this case, put here, click and click here, okay, and then you put here the title of these, for example, of this section to be clickable. Put here distro, okay, target, you can leave it as it is, okay, and just put a new area. Yeah, and select another thing. You can put, for example, a circle here, for example, 1 point here, one point here. You can start for example, a big circle here. I mean, this is not the best option, of course. Coding, for example, add new area. I just recommend React, for example, for most of the pictures you have, unless you have complex pictures or complex figures. For example, this one here, and I put here environment, and then yeah, a new area. I'll delete this, and then I click here, show me the code, and I have this. Okay. What you have to do here, probably we have to create a wiki entry for this. For example, on Visual Studio Code here, you have to put here is, sorry, first image map, and again here image map. Very important here is that, for example, in this case, for working with images that you want to upload on, or if you're working with images on your wiki entry, first upload the image to the wiki, and then put the name of it here. For example, this one here, it is Python landscape tree. I want this. I don't remember how this, because this picture I had already uploaded to the wiki. For example, I don't remember the name. Please keep track of your pages, the names, upload file list, for example. Here are all the files here, and let me see if I find mine. What is the name of it? Next page. Yeah, setup3.png. This is the name of the file, and let's put it here. File, to delete this one here, put it here. You can change the format here if you want. Put a description here, setting up, okay. And then, then you put here the coordinates, and show me the code again. And then you select this one here. So in this case, so this is, I mean, do not copy and paste directly this one here. Use only some references. For example, that's why we need to create a wiki entry how to create clickable images. For example, you first have to put the name of the, I'm going to close this. For example, you have to put first the name of the area. If you use a rectangle or a circle or polygon, it's rect. And then you have to copy the coordinates. 10. Okay. You have to delete the commas here. And then you have to put here the link. Okay. So for example, if this is the name of the page, which is, oh no, Anaconda, I think. I don't remember that. I mean, you have to check the names of the name, for example. Well, let's put this already here, for example, Python basics. Just to So for example, this is the name of the page, and here you put the name you want to show. That, for example, that is on the image. Attribution. And if the second one, you put circle A43, 92, and 70. Let's see, I'm just putting these examples here just to show you how it looks like. Obviously, the links in this example are wrong, and rect, and also 5, 12, 6, 5. Okay, and then yeah, let's put this one here. Data visualization, let's say data visualization with Python. So again, the names don't correspond with the image. So I delete this one here. And the good thing about the preview is that I can see what happens here. So you can see, you can put a break here. Again, to separate sections. So you can see my image here. If I can already, you see that in the preview, I can even click here. It's not showing me anything here because it's not in the preview. It means that loaded the page here is not, the file is not here. I can close it again preview. I don't know what I did. Close this one. Yeah, so to see if it works, you can see that this kind of, the cursor changes with this little hand. Here, this is not a click, this part of the picture or the image is not clickable. This part is clickable. This part is clickable. This part is clickable. Okay. So this is how you know. Yeah. And again, for example, if you want to just again to repeat how to upload images, let's say that I don't know. Let's create let's put a screenshot of, for example, this one here, just as an example. Let's say that we want to include this screenshot to a wiki entry. Okay, it's done. In the wiki here, for example, here I file list, tools, upload file. I think you have the options. I choose the file here, for example, let's say where was this screenshot, wiki, sorry, it's in documents. It's the last capture I did. This one, for example, easy code, for example, .png, and yeah, just upload file. Okay, so it's very important that you have to copy and paste the name as it is here. For example, you can copy and paste this thing here, copy, and then paste it on here. So for example, image, you can put, for example, let's say we want to put here the pixels could be, I don't know, 500, thumbnail center, etc. Let's see if it works. It didn't work because I'm making a mistake here with the images. Just for example, check. For example, let's create a new. Let's say I want to check only the yeah, sorry, I had forgotten. So for example, just to put an image, sorry, I forgot the the syntax in this case. I was thinking about image maps. So for example, we put the image here. Let's see preview. And then you can see the image here already. Obviously you can put the caption. This is Visual Studio Code, for example. And yes, it appears here. So yeah, so remember to put first the name, first to upload the image and then put the name here. So already this extension with all the configurations we did, it already knows the names, like it somehow is connected, okay? So that's why you have to use internet when you are using Visual Studio Code with for editing wiki entries, okay? So that's it, and I hope it was useful for you. Until the next time.